And the only thing we as human beings can have true ownership over is how we choose to think and what we choose to put into our mind, and then how that drives us, especially under pressure. So Maxwell talks about when you squeeze orange, you get orange juice. So if someone's got the wrong stuff inside of them and they get under pressure, that stuff's going to come out.
Now, Parnell went through the financial workshop and he found something very interesting in his business. Brandon, you know what story I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, and you know what, Buck? You guys will hear it from Parnell, but when you learn what you're supposed to be looking for, because you have people who are experts who have done it thousands of times, and you as the business owner take ownership of your future, and you take the first step to knowledge and awareness and action, then things like what Parnell is going to talk about flush themselves out much sooner.
That's right, Parnell. So talk to us. First of all, tell us what type of business you have and tell us your annual revenues right now. And then tell us what you learned at the finance workshop.
Yeah, so I run a real estate company, actually two of them. I have a commercial division and a residential division. And we started at about 800,000. We've been bumping up against that for years. We came to you guys' essential programs. We got over $1.2 million. If everything goes as planned, we should be close to $1.5 million, maybe $2 million this year.
Put a 10X in the chat for Parnell. I love that.
So things are working the way they're supposed to be working. So it's been great. However, thanks for opening an old wound. We've kind of bandaged this, but we're getting through it. We're more of a family business than not. So, you think you can trust people and you try to trust everybody you can. Well, my best friend's daughter was an agent in our office, and we went to the financial essentials, and Jeff talked about making sure you break all your income into different buckets so you know where it's coming from. And then he talked about how you set up a structure to get your team to buy into your vision and give them compensation. So we started running the numbers. And what we found out is that my best friend's daughter had been stealing money from us, shaving a little bit of commission off the top of each deal. And she just kept adding more and more as she went. So total, the commissions, weren't as damaging as the stock options we missed out on. So the commissions came out to be about $12,000. The stock options we missed out on were about $50,000. So all in, we were about $62,000 that we found had gotten stolen from us. So it was a shocking.
Yeah, and that's because you started putting the diligence and building out the models and having awareness and attention on the things that are important on your finance side that you weren't tracking and didn't look at closely before, right?
Correct. We didn't even know to look at it. GCI is what real estate agents always talk about. You never think about the profits. So when we started digging into the profits, that's when we noticed that we got taken advantage of.
I'll say, Parnell, I appreciate you willing to share that story. I'll tell everybody on here that probably 28% of the businesses over the last 20 years that we worked with have either had people stealing from them like this, or they had people incompetent in positions losing that money. And when you think about how much money that is over a long period of time, it's a shame to not have the awareness and the understanding of what to be looking for and what to be looking at. So fortunately, we found it fairly quickly with Parnell, because if that would have gone on for 5 or 10 years, it could have really added up.
Yeah.
Right. And it really helped us because since we're able to do that, we know how to track now. So as we talk to our agents, we know how to keep track of what they're doing. So it's really streamlined our finances. So it's been a huge help. And I'd recommend it. If you can send somebody to each one of those courses, people, financial, and marketing, I'd get somebody at each one of those as quick as you could. They've been fantastic for us. So it's been a huge help.
Awesome.
But Parnell, which one was the best one?
Yeah, be honest.
Well, Megan loved the people's one. I love marketing, so I love marketing. But the financials was the best one for us because it saved us the most money.
There you go. There you go.
The question is, what was the best ROI? And it would be finance would be the best ROI.
Yes.
Great. Parnell, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you being here today, man. That's all. I'm curious. How many of you have had an employee steal before? The hands are, raise the hand, put it in the chat. Look at this. Yes. Imagine if you could just put simple processes in place to deter that, right? I'm telling you, we would love to sit down and meet you in person. Brandon says this all the time. Every Cardone Ventures employee is looking for relationships. We're looking to meet you, to help you grow, to help you expand. We're looking for years of commitment, years of accountability on our part to help you grow your business. Now the hands are coming up. Dr. Greg, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. Well, great. Now that I hear you're going to make that commitment to the Business Mastery Leadership Program, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've made lots of commitments.
What's your question, Dr. Greg? How can we help you tonight?
I had a question earlier, but it got answered. So I just wanted to say to everybody, one of the things that I've done over the last couple of years is commit. And when Grant says commit, figure the rest out later, that's a real thing. So commitment is real, but you have to believe in yourself that you're going to pull through. Grant said something that was really impactful for me a few years ago. He said, the only reason you would not borrow money to do something is because you did not believe in yourself that you would be able to pay that money back. And that's where that commitment started to nag at me. I am where I am now because I joined with you guys and committed to it.
Love it. Thank
Appreciate
you, Dr. Greg. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, let's go to Steve. Steve Patty. Hey, Steve. How are you? Welcome to Owners Live. What's your question, buddy?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good. So we just went through kind of a disruptive pattern. There was like a ransomware attack on the company that hosted our servers. So we've actually been able to come out of it with help of you guys. Remarkably, we had to rebuild our entire system. We had several people walk out. We have a much tighter team. And I guess my question is really, what would be your steps in kind of rebuilding like your new nucleus of employees in getting things to the next level?
Yes, the first thing is you need to go backwards and understand how you allowed that group to assimilate around you and really reflect on why you hired who you hired, what kind of latitude you gave them, how much you abdicated to them versus delegated to them, how
clear you were on
how
your job
clear and
descriptions.
concise you were on their responsibilities and their roles and their contributions, how accountable you held them or didn't hold them. And you need to go through that. Then look at the attributes of your best people, the attributes you want from everyone. Because when you start re-interviewing and talking to people, you need to speak your reality into existence. And you do that by being very clear and very concise about what you do want. But what tends to happen is business owners under pressure start interviewing people and talking to people, and they talk about what they don't want. Well, whatever you think about is what you talk about. Whatever you talk about is what you do. And whatever you do is what you're ultimately known for. So any thought you have in your mind that's not pulling you to your future ideal picture, that future scene that you want to have, whatever thought is happening in your mind, it's either pulling you to that ideal scene or it's pulling you away from it. And the only thing we as human beings can have true ownership over is how we choose to think and what we choose to put into our mind, and then how that drives us, especially under pressure. So Maxwell talks about when you squeeze orange, you get orange juice. So if someone's got the wrong stuff inside of them and they get under pressure, that stuff's going to come out. So I would just say to you, a very specific diagnostic on the attributes, the qualities, the characteristics, the contributions that you want to have from your absolute best people. And that's all you talk about. And you never talk about anything in the past that's happened that didn't work for you.
That's awesome. I love that. Like initially we were definitely in the weeds, like you go on the negative side of things and you're kind of freaking out trying to figure out what to do. But that's what I've been trying to, hold myself to.
And the thing is, do you want to accelerate that? Do you want the fast track? Do you want the secret? Do you want the answer?
Yes.
Then you need to come to People Essentials, because that's all we talk about for 2 days is exactly how to get it, how to find, attract, align, develop, and retain great people. Because the thing that is that hiring and having a great contributor is not one thing. It's not the luck in getting somebody who cares. It's not the skill, and it's the discipline in knowing how to do all 5 of those things to have the right people stay with you to help you build your organization. And it doesn't happen accidentally. It happens with intentionality.